Welcome once again. This is our 8th episode. We have been talking about matters education and how to make an informed decision about the educational journey of your child. Last week, we talked about how the ACE Ignitia curricula prepare your child, make your child stand out for tertiary education. My name is Sophia. I am the founder and the visionary behind Almasi School. We have run since 2012. We have seen many students come to us that had lost hope in other places they had been, and they were encouraged. Their character was mended. I remember our very first graduate when she came to Almasi School. And we used to have mentorship sessions with the teenagers. I used to have mentorship sessions with the teenagers where we talk about life and what it is disturbing us. We talk about family, we talk about relationships. We just talk about many things. And I remember one time asking the students how their journey has been. And I remember this girl just breaking down and crying and saying, Almasi School saved my life, literally. And she went on to say how before she had given up, and she was, because of a very difficult situation at home, had affected her ability at school, and she was really struggling. And she said at some point she had actually just given up, and school was becoming a rite of passage for her. And she went on to become our very first graduate at Almasi School, did exceedingly well, worked very hard. In fact, this particular student, based on, the rigor and the personal discipline that, the AC curriculum inculcates in students, was able to finish her university in 2.5 years. And although she had, transitioned into ACE from 2 and had to sort of go back, she worked so hard, and eventually she caught up with, her peers that she had left in the other system. And she's a performing artist, actually, doing very well on the Kenyan scenes. But because I do not have her permission to mention her, I won't mention her for now. Maybe in another episode, I may invite her to come and share her story at Almasi. So back to the point, how does ACE prepare your child for the university and for tertiary? Their last, in fact, what would say their last stop in terms of, formal education. And I know I just said their last stop, but I think most parents take you up to university level, those who can, undergrad, and then after that you're on your own. So that's the sense in which I mean the last stop. So first of all, I believe that because the American system that we run at Almasi School is not an exam-based system. It's actually a competence-based system. It assesses your child's performance over a period of time. And so at the end of the day, your child's achievement throughout the term, from the first time that they get into class, and the way that it works is that the assessment cycle begins immediately. A child begins to work on their workbooks. When they get their workbooks, there are, they work through a concept. As soon as the concept is covered, then they take a little quiz on it. We call them checkups. You check mastery of that content. Once you have successfully completed your checkup, then you continue. And at the end of before you turn in your, we call them paces. Before you turn in your paces, you do what we call a self-test. And a self-test, is your own personal assessment of your own understanding and achievement throughout that unit of study. And then, of course, you take your PACE test, and there is a minimum score for our system. The minimum score is 80%. As you go up higher, The minimum score is 60. So beyond a 60, you cannot score. I think it's 59. I'm not very sure. But with the ACE is 80%. And so the continuous assessment way of documenting a child's educational achievement, I think, is very fair, and it assesses your child's general ability throughout their period of time, their stay in school. And what then happens is that it gives every child a chance to actually excel and gain the kind of grades that can take them to the next level. So continuous assessment. And really at the university, that's also what you get, continuous assessment, where it is your continuous and consistent effort that is finally documented. And you get what we call an average score. And most of the times, again, because of the high requirement and the high standard for passing an achievement, a lot of our students are always winners. We say that in ACE, everyone is a winner. They may not win at the same level, but it just means that they will get something, a paper that is able, to take them to the next stage of life and continue with their education. So that is one way that the grades, the accreditation they receive, gives children that would otherwise have been written off in the other system, they find a way of continuing, to college, to tertiary level education. The other way in which, as students are prepared for high school, or for tertiary education, is because in ACE we say learning is the responsibility of the learner. The teacher is merely a coach, a guide, a supervisor, somebody who is just there to ensure that, they're keeping you accountable in regard to the academic goals that you have set, that you're constantly achieving these goals, that you're constantly, you're not falling behind. If you get stuck, they're there to help you understand why you're stuck and to help you get out of it. And really, what then happens is that, like I say, at the university, you're usually on your own. Over time, children develop a personal sense of responsibility for their learning. And when they go into the university where there is ultimate freedom, it doesn't get into their heads. They're already used to it. They're already used to setting their goals, working through their goals until they are done. They have, you see also in ACE, the character training happens. Now, the other thing I told you, I discovered about my teaching at the university is that there's a lot of, let me call it the spirit of Harambe when it comes to writing exams. I'm just trying to be kind. Where now during these COVID seasons, we have had what we call open book exams, where you're allowed to basically refer to sources for your answers. But even with open book exams, I believe that open book exams, by the way, is a way to go, because then it makes sure that you are cross-referencing in a way. So you're repeating. There's something called the law of repetition in learning, where the more you repeat a concept, the more you master it. So I think open book exams is good. But still, even with open book exams, when you're marking those scripts, you will find 3 or 4 people with identical, answers to their questions. And I remember speaking to 2 of our students who are at the university, and I was asking them, how is university? How is campus life? And they were saying, hey, Mwalimu, our friends call us to ask us to send them answers to the questions. And they're like, why? Why can't they just, it's an exam. Why don't they just do their work? And they say, I actually can't do that. I can't bring myself to actually do that. And so I'd say that is a test of character, and in many cases, the American Christian curriculum that we offer our students has trained them to be strong in character and not to fit into the mold. That when everybody else is practicing academic dishonesty, they'd rather leave a question blank because they didn't know. And they say, this is the true state of the matter. I didn't know this question. I'm not going to lie about it. I'm not going to give a picture that is not true. And I think that is great. I think that our country in many ways is suffering because we lack honest leaders. We lack people who are strong in character. And like we said earlier, in Almasi, we talk about shaping the child so that we can change the nation. And our dream is that we shall send our children into the future, and that because of the strength of character that they have, that they're going to be able to fix some of the things that have dogged us through the generations. You know, character issues. Corruption is a character issue. It is about people not, being honest about what belongs to them, what they have honestly gained. Character issues. That is what is dogging us. And so also I'll talk about an education that is learner-centered. Again, we focus on the individual. They drive their own agenda. We fashion, you're able to develop an educational plan in terms of which electives that the child do at high school, and they're able to sort of lead them to the place that is very uniquely fashioned for their character. Those are some of the things that I can pick out off the top of my head in terms of how does the American Christian curriculum that we offer at Almasi School prepare our children and set them up for a life of success at the tertiary level. My name is Sophia Musyoka. Keep with us. We're definitely going to bring you more content, matters education, matters choice, about your child's education choices. And our whole idea is to just equip you as a parent, empower you as a parent to be intentionally involved, in the education journey of your child. We do hope that you will get in touch with us. We can be reached on 0713-675-228, and our website is www.almasischool.org. Please call us. Let the journey begin towards your child's academic success. Thank you.